Hi everyone, it's Adam at Schaefer and Bierlein. Today I'm going to try the new JL Rubicon we just got in on our Jeep trail. So it's January in Michigan. There's a little bit of snow on the ground. Everybody's getting their new JL Wranglers in, and I see a lot of people walking around them, pointing at things, but nobody's really driving them over stuff. So at Schaefer and Bierlein, we built a Jeep course, and today I'm gonna be the first one to take the new JL Rubicon over the course. Definitely snow covered, but I know where the path is, so we're gonna try it out and see exactly how it compares to what the JK used to be, or how some of the modified ones that we've done here perform in comparison with the new JL. So there's a lot of new cool features for the trail built into these electronics on this JL Wrangler, but a lot of it stayed the same too. So your transfer case, pretty simple between 2 high and 4 high. They added a little bit of an indication up here on the front of the dash to tell you exactly which gear you're in. So if you're looking down at this shifter that previously never really gave us any indication other than just position, to wonder which gear you may be in. And up here it just told you 4-wheel drive when you were in it, with like a amberish kind of color indicator, like a warning light that pops on to tell you're in 4-wheel drive. So they've improved that a little bit. The operation of the transfer case has stayed exactly the same though, so nothing's changed there. Pulling it back into 4 high tells you that you're in 4 high here on the main screen, and with the off-road pages, it's actually going to tell me with a visual representation of the Jeep and the drivetrain that the transfer case is now locked. So I am locked in 4 high right now with the sway bar connected. This being a Rubicon, of course, it has front and rear lockers, and it also has that sway bar disconnect, and we're going to try that out once we get out onto the course here a little bit. We'll go into 4 low and try those just to see how things are going to operate. So the first part of our course is always easy. It's just a few little hills. I like using the hills though to get myself into 4 low. Jeep usually recommends that you're moving at a slow pace in order to engage 4 low. So I get myself right here on the top of the hill, kind of hold the brake until I feel myself kind of rolling forward, rolling down the hill. So then shifting the transmission into neutral. So 4 high is back right now. I'm going to go over for neutral, and I'm going to try and roll forward just a little bit, and it went in pretty slick. If you're moving, really easy. Standing still, flat pavement, these will always give you a little bit of problems, and one of the tricks that I always use is shift yourself back into drive on the transmission or reverse. Just get things moving a little bit in the drivetrain again, and see if it'll slide in. The way that those gears are positioned, these things are geared so low, sometimes it's got to be in just the right spot. So moving definitely helps you out here. Now we are in 4 low. I can definitely shift myself back into drive, and with this new transmission, yeah, you really got to step on the brake in order to hold it back. There's a lot of power here now, and we're going to roll up and over this next hill. Had to give it a little bit of gas with the snow to get up the first hill. This one I'm going to try and just coast, and I'm going to see if we can get over there. So not touching the brake at all, not touching the gas at all, and it's driven itself over that hill at a fairly consistent speed. Same deal here, not touching anything, up and over. So definitely an improved crawl ratio. We'll have to compare a JK Rubicon to that to see exactly how it does with the same exact test, but I don't remember a JK walking up and over just the same as what that did on the JL. This next part is our culverts. So we've got a staggering of culverts. I believe they're 12-inch and 18-inch. They're filled in a little bit in between just to give yourself a smooth transition. This is basically testing our approach angles, departure angles, breakover angles, ground clearance, those things that Jeep rates their Jeeps on so well. And we made it up and over the first culvert. We're just going to get the back tires up to the next culvert and just pull straight onto it. And so far, no major issues. Everything feels pretty smooth. I'm just transitioning between gas and brake just slightly. Really, you don't even need the gas. This is walking itself right up and over. That's the biggest drop. On a 4-door, the longer wheelbase, you definitely get a different experience driving across these than a 2-door. But that was pretty good. Snowy, icy, still not locked. So open differentials front and rear right now. we're going to pull up to our hill. This doesn't look like much from the ground, but trust me, you feel it. And the way that we use this, we test traction with it. And today will be a huge test because we've got so much snow. So it's holding itself, actually. That was nice. So hill start assist there as I get myself positioned. You can kind of see we're on a little bit of an angle. It's not too bad, but it's just enough to put a little bit of stress on things and try and figure out how much traction we have exactly. So in order to test traction, I want to lock just the rears on this. So we're going to engage the rear locker. It gives me a message up here. It says rear axle locked, and we've got a new lock icon on that rear axle. So we're locked in, and again, I'm just going to take my foot off the brake, apply a little bit of gas just to get us going, and we're going to go up this icy hill. And one of the things they changed on these JLs is the tires. So we aren't using the BF Goodrich KM1 tires anymore. We're using an all-terrain onto it. So I was kind of curious to see exactly how these would fare on this hill. But I gotta say, I felt a little bit of chatter. There was a little bit of slip, but not as much as I expected for driving up a snowy hill like that. The snow is kind of packing a little bit, and we've got a gravel base underneath it, so that kind of helps out. So possibly it was just spinning in the snow until it got down to the gravel, which is hard frozen ground. But overall, really, really good. The gearing on this thing is, I'm gonna say, much lower than what the JK has had, making it really easy to drive on this course, actually. And then down this course, we've got a little dip, and that's going to kind of test out some different angles again. And it gets pretty steep. And now I'm just testing out some traction here. And then getting into it, I'm going to engage the hill descent control. This part of our course is just enough to engage hill descent. So with hill descent on, I'm taking my foot off the brake here. And I can hear it engaging, almost sounds like ABS a little bit. And I'm just going down the hill nice and slow. And when it's going real slow, you can kind of give it a little gas, and hill descent control knows what you're doing. Now, this, you can't really even see it, but it's a bit of a frame twister that we built. And this is where I like to try out the sway bar disconnect. So rolling into it on flat ground, I'm going to engage the sway bar disconnect. Blinking light tells you it's disconnecting, tells me up here it's in progress. I'm going to roll forward just a little bit more. Yep, disconnected. All right, we're just entering into it. I'll show you kind of what our steering wheel does as we go across this, so you can tell there's quite a bit going into it. That's not me moving it. That's the frame twister. I'm going to keep us a little straighter onto it. And we're just seeing how this thing keeps all four wheels on the ground. So there's quite a bit of lean, quite a bit of body roll going into it. But overall, it handled it really well. And through the frame twister here too, let's check out pitch and roll. Let's see how even it keeps us going through these offset moguls. This electronic power steering gives you about the same feedback, same feel. So I got a 7-degree tilt off of that one. About 6 coming through it again. About 5. And finishing off. So it kept it really nice and really level all the way through. Is definitely the most capable Jeep Wrangler we have ever taken around our course at Schaefer and Bierlein as a stock Jeep. Can't wait to get into more of the modifications and new customizations.